Greetings, darling. Master Naima here. Hello, my YouTube family. Master Naima here. Welcome to Monday. Has it with Biden and Kamala. Random thunder and storming happened, and Indonesia is not opening their borders to Americans, as was tentative for September 11th. No country. The only countries that are welcoming Americans right now are Mexico and the Caribbean. Hawaii is not even accepting us right now. And Hawaii is a part of the United States. And the country is on fire. The world is on fire. It is wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. If you're here for the first time, I'm Master Naima, the CEO and thought leader here at Melanin Sovereignty, where we show high spiritual leaders how to highly monetize their high spiritual work. Not just monetize, highly monetize their high spiritual work. And I'm curious to know. I'm going to have a meeting with a group of our speakers in about half an hour or so. And I'm wondering how many people are really getting it right now? How many people are really getting it? So many people, maybe it's you, who are so consumed by CNN and their Facebook feed and their YouTube feed and their Twitter feed and their Instagram feed, and they're just sucking it in, reading it all day, feeling all the tightness of it, believing so much of it on an energetic level, agreeing with it on an energetic level, tight, scared, just like really agreeing with so much of this. And then there are what I would call the few. They're more than the few, right? But the ones who see. For those of you who read the Bible, such a time as this. For those who read the Bible, the last shall be first. And even if you don't read the Bible and you are just truly tuned in to the higher spirits that are governing things, because polarity does exist, whether you wholly at a body-based level agree with it or not. And yes, there are evil and dark forces. And yes, there are high and benevolent forces working right now. And if you are truly, not even if, but when, you are truly tuned in and you can watch everything that's happening right now. Watch everything that's happening inside of your own body, inside of your own mind, and really come to know, not because I tell you so, not because another spiritual leader tells you so, but because you know, because you're so tuned in. And that the calling, right? Like so many people talk about calling as if it's like this Barbie adventure. My calling in life. Callings are disruptive. So for those of you who can see clearly, and the calling for you just calls and calls and calls and calls and calls and calls and pulls and calls and grabs for your attention and disrupts your life and makes you cry and makes you can't sleep and calls and calls and calls and calls, right? The time is now. You already know. Like, I'm preaching to the choir. I'm not telling you nothing you don't already know. The reason why the name of this video is Thank You, Trump, or America Needs Trump, or whatever it is because most human beings do not pay attention, do not move until it gets ugly. When it's good and money is flowing and your body look, good enough for you, and you got your man or your woman, and your house you're keeping your house clean, and your hair is cute, and life is good. A lot of times we even forget about God, don't we? When it's all good, we just, right? But let somebody show up to your doorstep with a bottle of darkness. Let somebody show up and drain your bank account. Let a white narcissistic, hateful, evil, greedy motherfucker come up to your door, then your ass gonna start paying attention. And that's why I'm so glad Trump is in the White House. And guess what? As long as yo motherfucking ass, when I say yo, I mean all of y'all who got call-ins and still run around here talking about fear, bitch, bye. Yeah, I said bitch. You got call-ins, you got insomnia, you can't sleep because your calling is how ancestors yelling at you left and right. You getting downloads all over the goddamn place. You getting chills from your own downloads. You got me in your face on a regular basis. Melanin sovereignty is home base for such a time as this. Your darkness must be reconciled because what is in Trump is in you too. There is no separation here. What is in Trump is in me. What is in Trump is in you. And as long as folks who got call-ins, particularly Black people who are already in high resonance with the sun and the moon and everything that governs this shit any fucking way, and is still allowing lower forces, Trump forces, dark forces to run your show versus owning the darkness inside of you, getting off on the darkness inside of you while choosing to allow benevolent forces to be the thing that leads you. This is high spiritual work. This is why melanin sovereignty exists. All of your friends who are business coaches and healers and all of that, they cool. And they've gotten you as far as they're going to get you. Melanin sovereignty is about full power, including pussy power, including heart Merkaba power, including high mental power, the fullness that your church got you scared of, the fullness that a lot of y'all friends got you scared of and will shame you out of when you really start coming into it. I'm talking about full, indomitable, impenetrable force of nature power. I'm talking about superior individuation and not with this damn patriarchal reality TV world got y'all thinking when the word superior is used. I mean the highest order that governs the whole fucking, all of the millions of universes that exist. Those superior forces is what the fuck I'm referring to. I'm so sick of Black folks and they small, like how do such high people collectively vibrate at such low levels? Like what the fuck? And that's why I did a video from the Claremont, no. It was the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco in 2018. And I remember before I did this video, I was like, ooh, girls, you really gonna do this? I was talking to the guys, you really gonna do this? When you are of an original being, the blood that runs through your vein is of an original source. And you are naturally a descendant of a high class, which is what Black people are. Regardless of how many reality show chicks and big booty stripper archetypes about, the dominant visuals in the media about what Black women are, which are abhorrently incomplete and skewed in one direction, right? I did a video about this. When you have a high people who subscribe to lower ways of being, lower ways of thinking, I'm getting chills, lower ways of thinking, being, and speaking, they are going to live that reality in a more exacerbated state than a white person or a lesser melanated person would. So what that means is when you put a Black person in a poor state, they're going to make it worse than the poorest of the poor. And when you put a Black person in the highest state, they are going to reign the most supreme of the supreme. Bitch, that's what, yeah, let me make it plain for motherfuckers who still trying to get it. Thank you, Trump. Thank you for getting in motherfuckers' asses making motherfuckers cry and scared because that's the only time niggas listen. Yeah, and give them another term. You not following your calling? Put Trump in office again in November. You not gonna make money and service equally important? You not gonna bring out your work that's gonna disrupt the Bible that your mama taught you? And I don't mean the disrespecting of the Bible. I mean expounding on the fullness of the Bible. Be clear. You're going to run around here talking about fear. You're going to run around here talking about, oh, what my mama going to think about me, what my friend going to think about, what my husband going to think about. Yeah, put Trump in office again and keep your ass scared and afraid and locked down. Yup. I'm glad Trump is in office. Girl, listen. I'm grateful. Everything that's required for you to succeed is here. When I say here, I mean it's in you. It's in you. And you already know this, right? Ain't I preaching to the choir? Okay, I'm going to pause for a minute. What's up? I see we got folks here on Facebook. What's up? If you're watching us a replay, what you got to say about what's going on here? And I'm going to shift gears here in just a moment. Desi. Hey, Desi. I don't think we've ever met. Wenzel. Girl, I thought that was Denzel for a minute. I said, ooh, okay. Well, we know it ain't Denzel Washington. But when I saw your name and I saw the D and then I saw Zell, wait, is that Denzel? I started thinking Denzel Washington. I am so over girl, look at all this hair. Girl, all of this dang on. This is a lot going on. So the Melanin Sovereignty Summit is launching September 7th. We have so far, I think, 12 speakers. We're working to have 20. Marketing starts next Monday. And the Melanin Sovereignty Summit is all about money, high spirituality, and identity for melanin transformational leaders. And these are women all throughout the United States. I think we have one in Bali. Yeah, she's Jamaican, but she lives in Bali. And these are the domains that we're touching on. Money from a high place. Money, identity, and high spirituality, as well as sexuality. I have she calls herself the Astro Hoe, is going to be discussing the pussy portal. So when you guys start to see that being marketed by myself or someone else starting next week, and you care about this and wish to have this activated in you and get practical ways of activating your power around money, identity, high spirituality, and sexuality, then you want to sign up for that next week when the marketing begins. And Melanin Sovereignty is also looking for those of you. Ooh, man, this is extraordinary. This is so extraordinary. The new world that's literally being born before our eyes. Literally. Like the times that we are living in are unprecedented. The wildness is so exhilarating. It's electric all the time. And I was on the phone with a client this morning and she's like, Naima, I just really got it now that nobody is coming to save us. True. Nobody's coming to save you. This is your time. And it always has been, frankly. But the high significance of it, the felt visceral sense of the high significance of it right now. To create. And it's so funny as I watch, you got people over here who I talked about earlier who are scared and are having petty conversations, fighting on Instagram and Twitter, scared, right? Just watching like the world's going to collapse because, Trump and those people and all that, right? And then you got the people over here who are creating totally different realities. They're like living in two different worlds. And what's the difference between the two? How they think and where they give their attention. These people are over here having 5-figure, 6-figure months, right? Traveling, I'm going to Mexico on Sunday. I got another friend who's in Tulum right now. I got friends that have gotten on planes and now they're in the Caribbean because they're the only ones who's welcoming Americans as Mexico and the Caribbeans. But they're living, they're making money, good money. They're continuing to serve. They're operating at a high level. That's what we're doing here at Melanin Sovereignty. It's like its own orbit. So I'm inviting those of you who you're just ready for that, what I just described. And not only that, what we're doing here, you really feel it. You just know it to be true, right? Not even because I said it, you already knew it, and I'm saying what you already know. So there's multiple ways to get in here. One, I'm looking for social sellers. Those are people who are going to be just that, social sellers, going to help spread the message of Melanin Sovereignty, help enroll the right folks into our program. There's 2 different programs. We'll discuss that if we get that far in our communication. So there's that, the social seller. You really believe in what we're about. You're looking to grow in this way with the teachings that we teach here to really be an ambassador for Melanin transformational leaders coming into full power and highly monetizing their high spiritual work. Like, let's have that be normal, right? And that's going to happen in time. Like that is going to happen in time. Oh my God. In the transformational world that I live in, white folks are the one making the most money. White women, white men, healers, teachers, leaders, coaches, goddess workers, all of that. And they running around doing 5 and 6 figures like it ain't nothing because of how they think. And because it's always been that way in the industry. Not because they're better, believe me. They're taking your stuff, doing as best as they can with it, and 10 timesing the price. Have you guys seen the anger by Black anti-racism workers? I've seen, because Robin DiAngelo, the white woman who's the author of White Fragility. Have you guys heard of this? Seen this? She wrote a book called White Fragility. She's making $30,000 a workshop. She is, apparently word got out that she has all this real estate. And I saw a video done by For Harriet on Instagram with another Black anti-racist educator. And I've just seen it in different places, other anti-racist educators of color who are bothered that Rama DiAngelo is charging and getting $30,000 for a workshop and has this real estate and making all this money. They're saying that she's profiting off of our pain. That's what they're saying. And I commented, I said, well, what's stopping a Black woman from charging and getting $30,000 who does anti-racism work? And I said, let one Black anti-racist educator get $30,000, hell, $10,000 for an anti-racism workshop or, whatever they do in their education and teaching others, and let word get out about that. Then all of a sudden, this permission that all the other Black anti-racist educators could have given themselves years ago, they will suddenly feel this sudden permission to charge $10,000 for a workshop when they could have did that 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. This is what I mean by people seem to only respond when they feel wronged and angry and bad. That's why I'm glad Trump is in office, getting people mad. Miss Anti-Racist Educator, you could have started charging $10,000 10 years ago. Oh, but Robin DiAngelo doing it. Now you mad? And now you want to get on the internet and holler about it? How about you just charge that and get that too? How about you position yourself and esteem yourself and get into wealth consciousness enough and the value enough to do that? There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You have the power. You always have. So when you are coming aboard as a social seller here at Melanin Sovereignty, you're helping to kill that consciousness and get us, Melanin transformational leaders, highly monetizing their high spiritual work. Not just monetizing, because there's plenty of anti-racist educators who breaking their back and barely paying their rent. They monetizing, but they hardly paying their rent. So when I say highly monetizing, that's not an accident. So that's what you're helping to make real as a social seller here at Melanin Sovereignty. Another way to come aboard is you become the client. You become the client. So you become whatever the work is you're doing. The goddess, the transformational leader, the healer, the ancestral coach, right? All this work that you're already doing, thinking that you're only selling to Black people. There's so much training in the way you think that Melanin Sovereignty is going to help you with. One of the things that I've discovered in my research is that most of us only see ourselves selling to ourselves. It's very subconscious though. We don't consciously be like, yeah, I'm only selling to Black people. We don't think that in our head, but subconsciously, we only are available to receive money from people who look like us. What we're doing here at Melanin Sovereignty is high and it's all the way right. It's high and it's all the way right. You literally cannot lose over here. This is of the highest spiritual order. I have zero concern, zero, and all the enthusiasm and expectation that the right people will be a part of revering this movement, revering it in their actions and supporting things and moving along and building it up. That's what we're doing here. Girl, all this hair, honey. So I went and got, I could talk about it, but I don't know if y'all care to hear about it, but I'm going to straighten it. And when it starts shedding, it'll thin out a little bit. This is just a lot going on. My natural hairstylist is scared and she shut down her salon and she's like, maybe you can come to my house. And, you know, my mom is here and she worried about her mom. And, you know, what do you guys think of my hair? Let me see. Desi said, I believe the collective created so much energy has gone into him and there is so much more to this life. So much has gone into him. Guess what? We love it. We love it. So many people have been, wait a minute. So the way things are set up in the world now and have been for a very long time, people have been trained to not go inside of themselves and source power from within themselves and their connection with God. So that's required to generate and create in the world, right? To be able to blast through and really be a manifester, right? In all things. So what Trump came and did is he compelled people, right? Because most people, they don't know how to come from within. So something happens without to get them to then move. Now, over the long term, that's still not the best way because that's still something external that's waking you up. But at least it gets people to start paying attention and questioning things like, who have I been for the last 20 years? Who am I being? So for those of you who, I'm getting ready to go now. For those of you who have a calling and you have yet to reach out to Melanin Sovereignty to either come in as a social seller or to come in as a client, you're not moving in the direction of the calling that's been calling you. Ain't nothing new. Been calling you for you to step into full power, full voice, full visibility on camera, presencing yourself, taking your position, presencing yourself in front of the right people, speaking the right words. So like what I told you, we teach here, the right way of being, thinking, speaking, and acting. You, through your lack of action, inaction, are saying, yes, more of Trump, please. Yes, more of Trump. Because your presence as the leader that you are, through showing up at Melanin Sovereignty with your money, with your energy, with your attention, with your whole self, and using this collective here, this energy and force here at Melanin Sovereignty to propel you into your leadership, into your voice, into packaging your services accurately, into pricing them accurately, into getting your message organized, into getting clear into who you're targeting, into getting clear into consistent marketing, into getting clear into how much money is necessary for you to live the life as a leader, for you to be cared for, whether it's massages, whether it's team, whether it's whatever the thing, for you to eat, have meals delivered so you can show up vibrantly and excitedly in your life in these now times and in the times to come in the new world that leaders are currently creating. That is what's here for you. When you say yes and you come forward with melanin sovereignty, when you say no and you continue to do anything else, watching a bunch of people shit, watching CNN constantly, waiting, alone, not talking, isolated, being distracted by other things, locked behind fear, etc. You are in that saying, yes, Trump, more please. More please. Kill me, please, kill me. A lot more people are going to die. You're saying, yes, Trump, kill me, bring in some more, kill some more people, disrupt this country some more, disrupt the world some more, hold everybody's attention some more, please. I don't have it within me yet. I'm unwilling still to come into power and to create a new reality and orbit in my world. So yes, continue to be divisive in this country, continue to spew it, continue to, and that's not even for just Trump. I'm just using him because he's the most polarizing force right now. You saying it to everything that's in your orbit right now that is disagreeable to the high nature that you're being called to do. By you not saying yes to it, you're saying yes to all of the disagreeableness around you, the disagreeable spirits. They feel like they can hang around because you ain't moving. Everything that's disagreeable to you, you give it permission in an unconscious way to say, yeah, hang around, hang around. This is high, y'all. I'm getting chills in my left leg. This is high, y'all. This is high. And bitch, I'm not doing this shit unless we playing high. That was already the deal. We play high or we don't play at all, period. So I have a meeting in 14 minutes with the speakers for the Melanin Sovereignty Summit. So I encourage you to DM me now. DM me now to either discuss being a social seller with Melanin Sovereignty or coming in as a leader and a client for us to show you how to get into clarity and power around your right way of thinking, speaking, being, and acting so you can start to create the bank account and life and way of being that you are called to. Thank you so much. I will see y'all later.